All right. Hello, everybody. So let's do a quick check. Can everyone hear me okay? Got a microphone here. Let me make sure that's on. It's on. Is it on? It is on. Okay, great. All right. Excellent. Well, I got this is in my face. Hold on, let's move this. I hate it. Like I probably have mentioned this before. I hate it whenever I watch a YouTube video and the guy is like on screen with a microphone in front of him like that. I just like hate the way that looks. I don't want to be that guy. So let me like put it over here. There we go. That's I'm not thrilled about that. That's acceptable. All right, so today, everybody, I've got some fun things planned. Some big news coming up. Some stuff involving travel. A very special episode that's going to be coming up. I've got where is it? Oh, I've moved it out of the way. I've got a very special chocolate that is made from a different species. So instead of being made from Theobroma Cacao, which is normally what chocolate is made out of, this is made from Theobroma bicolor, which is a different species related to chocolate. So that should be interesting. So we're gonna get to that in a few minutes. Along the way, I'm gonna answer some questions. If you got any questions, just go ahead, put it in the chat. If you do a super chat, I will definitely answer it. Otherwise, no worries. I will take some regular questions from the stream as well. And yeah. Like so, let's see. Let me just take a quick look at the stream here, see who's here. Okay, we got about 100 people watching. That's excellent. When I posted it just a little while ago, for like the first like 15 minutes or so, it was like there was like 5 people. So I was like, I think I need to give some more notice. I'm glad the stream's going out. Sometimes there's like a delay with the live streams, like the notification doesn't go up right away. So I'm glad that has finally made it to everybody's feeds, and we already got a super chat. So let's answer a couple of questions. Let's go crazy, guys. I'm gonna answer a couple of questions, and then we'll start talking business. Sounds good. The Doctor Advocate says, love your channel, been watching for years now, you're doing great always. Thank you very much. Okay, yes, that's very kind of you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I love it when when people are posting that they've been watching from like the beginning. Like this channel's been going on for a long time, and it's amazing to me that some people just kind of like stuck along for the ride. Like they joined on in like 2013 and they've just stuck through it. Like, so like, oh yeah, I remember when you posted that video about the durian like all those years ago. That was something I love that. So yeah. Oh, you've been watching since episode 16. That's great. That was a long time ago, guys. That was a long time ago. It's been almost like 10 years that I've had this channel. And got some people who've been binging during quarantine. Yeah. The quarantine ended up being kind of like a interesting time. It was like I made a wish on a monkey's paw, because I was just like, oh man, I wish my channel would do better. And then I think because so many people were watching YouTube during 2020, my channel actually got a little boost from that, which I'm like not sure how to feel about that. But I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Okay, so let's move on to a matter of business. The first thing that I want to talk about is that I have a big episode coming up. So if you look at my videos, like I used to number them. In the beginning, I would put like, here's episode 1, this fruit. Here's episode 2, this fruit. And after several years, that number became too high. And I was worried that numbering my episodes in the title would maybe work against me, because some people are completionists and might want to watch from the beginning, and my videos in the beginning are not so great. They get better as it goes along. So like I'm kind of like that. Like if there's like a TV series, even if it's like a sitcom or something that can be watched out of order, I always want to watch from the beginning. And I think some people might be doing that with YouTube as well, where they come to my channel and they go like, all right, he has a lot of videos, like hundreds of videos. Let's start with episode 1. Never mind, this is terrible. See, it's I've been doing this for too long. So I decided, I don't know, like a couple of years ago, that I would take the number out of the title. So I am still numbering them, but not in the title. If you want to see the number for the episodes, you gotta look in the description. And in every description now, it's like I give the episode number and also the species and location of the fruit that I'm trying in the video. And when it's and right now, I think the most recent video I posted was 594. I think that was the last one. I think that was the one on the Thai durians. So 594. Next one's gonna be 595. We're getting to a big one. We're getting to episode 600, which is crazy. I've been doing this for a while, and to think that not just that I've had 600 different types of fruit, because some videos have multiple fruits in it, but that there've been 600 episodes is just crazy. I never expected to be doing this as long as I've been doing it, but I am grateful to be doing it as long as I have. And I want to make these, pinnacle videos, like these like milestone videos, something special. So as we've been going along, every time I hit one of those, 3-digit, there's a word for this, I'm sure, like a new 100. Sorry, I just hit my microphone if you heard that. So 100, the 100th episode, I did Beetle Nut, which was a big one. The 200th episode, I did Ice Cream Bean, I think. Episode 300. I don't remember what I did for 300. 400 was the Coco de Mer. That was a huge one. That was like a 5-part episode, almost an hour and a half long. And episode 500 was the Cloudberry. And now we're at episode 600. And for episode 600, I'm doing a video on the Icelandic Banana. Official announcement. I've been kind of like holding back on this information until now, but it's going to be on the Icelandic Banana. And if you know anything about Iceland, you know that the fact that there is an Icelandic banana at all is a weird thing, because like Iceland is a really, really interesting country. It is an amazing country, but it's not known for its plant diversity. There's only just over 1% of the entire country's land is arable. You can only really grow things on like 1% of the land. And even then, they get like really harsh winters. They get a lot of wind because they're an island. They get their days are different because they're so far north. It's like 24 hours more or less of sunlight for several months, and then it's like 24 hours more or less of darkness for several months. It varies, but like they get some winter months where there's very, very little sunlight. So this makes growing plants difficult. And it's an interesting place to see how they got around that issue, all the issues that they have over growing things. And they managed to do something really, really cool in order to produce plants, including bananas. So I went there and I documented this banana, and it's it's a, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a big one. It's going to be probably like an hour long. At the rate I'm going, maybe even longer than that. It might be kind of like the Coco de Mer, where it's like a feature length kind of documentary. And I think, unlike the Coco de Mer video, I want to put it all out in one go. But we'll see how I do. I'm still working on it, and the goal is to get it done in the next, like, 5 weeks, so it's ready in time. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it in time. So we're gonna see how that goes as we go along. It's coming together pretty well, but yeah, it is a big undertaking, and because of that, I'm not sure what's going to happen if I end up not being able to get it all done like right away. I might break it up to make it a little bit easier to get them out in time for episode 600. But either way, it's going to be a wild ride, and I think it's going to be a really good episode. Especially, like every time I do one of these kind of like milestone videos, 400, 500, 600, I've learned since then. It's been, it's a year or 2 years between each one, because I do like one video a week usually. So, since I did the Cloudberry episode, I've gotten better equipment. I've learned a little bit more about what I'm doing, and I grow along with them. So it should be a big one. It should be a good one, and I think everyone's going to be excited about it. At least I hope so. I hope so. So far, I'm happy with how it looks. So hopefully, you guys think so too. And one thing about this is, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to, because of like the time that we were living right now. It might be kind of difficult to do this, but I think I might do a live event. I'm thinking about it. So if all goes accordingly with this video and I can get it done in time, then I might do a live event here in New York City. So all the viewers, if you live in New York and want to attend this, I'll put information out as we get a little bit closer. Probably I'll make an announcement in the community posts on the channel. So keep an eye out for that if you live in New York, and put comments on videos if you're like wondering about it, and because I do read most comments. So put a comment up if you're wondering about it, if you want more information about it. But I will be making announcements along the way about this. It might not happen. It might not happen, but I'm hoping that I can. And if things do really well, maybe I'll even do a live event somewhere else. It's possible. Since I did do a live event once, and anyone watching who went to that live event, thanks for going out to that event, and it did well. And this was like, like 2.5 years ago. It was when I did the Coco de Mer. And it did, like, I filled out a small venue in New York. We did a screening. I didn't lose too much money doing it. I mean, renting out a venue in New York is a costly sort of thing, and I ended up like breaking even. So it was like, all right, like this, if there's enough demand to do it, then I'll do it, because it's so much fun to do a live event. But yeah, things are a little trickier now, but if people are interested, I might be doing that for the Icelandic Banana video as well. And yeah, if that does real well, then maybe and there's enough demand if you want me to come to your town and do it. And I know that there's going to be enough people attending where it'll be like worthwhile to rent out a space, then maybe I'll go somewhere else. Maybe it won't just be New York. But we're gonna play it by ear, okay? Right now, I'm really focusing on getting this video done, and then we'll go from there. So I think that's it for the Icelandic Banana. I'm really excited about it. Like it's like all I've been thinking about for like months now is just like bananas. I like go to sleep every night thinking about this video, and I wake up every morning thinking about this video. I'm trying to make it a really good one, and yeah, I'm curious to I'm curious to see what happens because we are not done. There's still lot more work to be done on it. I saw a super chat flying by, so let me scroll back here and answer that question. Uh, that was from I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Esther? Esther Maggard. Thank you, Esther. She asked if I'm going to have kids after I get married. Uh, I'm not planning on it. Maybe that's something to think about in the future, but like not my. I think one step at a time. But yeah, right now not really thinking about that. But thank you, Esther. Thank you for the question. I also want to answer a few questions that are not super chats. Give everyone a chance. You don't need to pay to get a question in, but if you pay, I will definitely answer your question. Uh, okay. Uh, Great channel. Thank you. Have I ever had a muscadine berry? That comes from Mr. Mouse 69. Well, yeah, I've had muscadines on the channel. That's muscadine. I've had muscadine grapes at some point. Actually, there's gonna be a grape episode coming up soon. By the way, I was sent a whole bunch of interesting grapes in the mail, and these are like weird ones. They've got really strange flavors to them. Some of them don't even taste like grapes. They like look like grapes, but they taste like one of them tasted like really like melony. Another one tasted like blueberry. Crazy stuff. I've got some cool grapes coming up in I think the next episode, or not the next episode. That's on the green sapote, which is going to be cool. But the one following that is going to be on grape varieties. So stay tuned. Let's see. Tuppy MSM asked, do you plan on eating any Amazonic fruits? You know that I already tried a lot of them, but there's some very special fruits in Brazil. Yeah, I did try a bunch of Amazonian fruits when I went to Bolivia. I went to the Bolivian Amazon, which is just like it's so immense there. Like the Amazon is just so big, and even just like the small piece of it comparatively that is in Bolivia was fascinating. And that's just one part of it. There's so many different sorts of environments in the Amazon, and I just got to see like a little piece of it and was blown away. So I do want to go back and see more parts of the Amazon, including Brazil. I was planning on doing that, but then things got shaken up with the pandemic and everything. So that is still on my list. I don't know when I'm going to go, but you know, fairly recent, fairly soon. I don't know if it's going to be the next big trip that I do, but it's going to be one of the upcoming ones. Maybe in the next year, 2 years, I'm going to the Amazon. Brazil has been on my list for a really long time, and yeah, I gotta get over there. I definitely gotta get over there, and hopefully after Brazil, I'll get to visit other parts of the Amazon as well. I want to go to see all the different sides of it because the little bit that I saw was just incredible. It's such a wonderful place to find fruit and such a beautiful culture over in at least in the part in Bolivia I went to. I had such a great time there. It's probably my favorite place in Bolivia was Riberalta, which is the area in the Amazon that I visited. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. And if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen that, go. That was some of my favorite videos, and they didn't really get watched that much because I had like a little. That was before I had kind of like a bit of a boost on YouTube. So some of those videos, like not a lot of people have seen them, but they're really cool. There's some cool palm fruits, especially that I saw there, like peach palm. I found a palm fruit that tasted like biting into oil. Wasn't very good, but it's interesting. There's one that tasted like cheddar cheese. Some really cool palm fruits in the Amazon. So yeah, if you haven't seen those videos, there's a playlist I think for Bolivia and Colombia when I went over there. Another super chat from Anthony G13 Emergency Videos. Anthony, thank you. You asked if I like to cook. Yep, yep. Although I say that again and again that this is not a cooking channel, as you can see, like I at least like to go through the motions of cooking. Like I don't claim to be a good cook, but I am an interesting cook. I have so many like weird ingredients in my apartment at like all times. I like collect weird spices that I use, and I always have like some sort of weird fruit that I've been sent or went out and buy. So I try to have a very like diverse palate. I end up cooking a lot of really interesting things. So yeah, I love cooking. Cooking's a lot of fun. And this over the past year, having spent more time indoors, I learned how to make like so many things that I like, and just like never really learned how to make. You just kind of like assume you got to go to a restaurant to get it. So I learned how to make drunken noodles. Love drunken noodles. Go to out for Thai food. I would always get drunken noodles or curry. So I learned how to make drunken noodles, and it's surprisingly not that hard and delicious. And I learned how to make laksa, which is probably my favorite food, which is a curry noodle soup that they have in Malaysia. I loved it. I would eat it like all the time when I was in Malaysia, and I kind of missed it. So I learned how to make it, and kind of like honing it a little bit, trying to make it my own. And I have so much fun trying to recreate dishes that I like. If I go to a restaurant, I have something that I like, I try to make it myself and kind of like tinker with it with my spice cabinet. Let's see, Mika Miko, thank you very much for the super chat. Targan Studios, thank you very much. You got a question in there. Will I ever review the Sumac? Yes. It's funny. I've been sent Sumac in the mail probably like 4 times, and I have found Sumac out on my own, but each time there has been some sort of issue with it. So I was sent Sumac in the mail once, and I opened it up, and the box was just like crawling with bugs. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. One time I went out and I found it foraging. I collected a bunch of Sumac, and then I washed it to prepare it. And I guess you're not supposed to wash it, because if you wash it, it takes all the flavor off. You have to like you can't clean sumac. You gotta like, if you want to clean it, you gotta just like boil it to death. That way it kills any kind of like germs or whatever that might be in the sumac. So I didn't know that. I washed it, rookie mistake, and I ruined it. And yeah, I've had some issues in the past, but I do have one that I filmed that is okay. I think it's okay. So that's a future episode. I have it on my backlog of videos to make. So Sumac will be coming up in the future, and I might add to it. Like what I usually do is I film months in advance, usually about 5-6 months in advance, unless something is kind of pressing. That way, if I happen across something else along the way, I could add it in. So sometimes someone will send me something in the mail. A good example of this would be the chokeberry episode. I was sent chokeberries in the mail by Wanderlust Nursery, and I made a whole episode about it. And then maybe like a month later, I found it in the wild. I happened across it growing wild in New York, and I was able to identify it because I had been sent it. I was like, that's definitely it. And so I ended up getting some good B-roll of the plant, and I shot some extra footage for Patreon, and I added to the episode from having that experience. And if I like rushed the video out, if I just like filmed it and put it straight out, I wouldn't have gotten that extra B-roll. I wouldn't have gotten the extra footage of trying the tea and like doing all that. So sometimes I like to have a video that just kind of like builds as I go along. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Sumac, yeah. So like I'm kind of keeping my eye out. I might add some more to it instead of just being sumac lemonade, which is what I filmed, making a drink out of it. I might maybe make sumac spice, something like that. I'll cook something with it. I don't know. It's a little bit further down the line, so maybe I'll add to it depending on what I come across along the way. Uh, Head-mounted dingus. That's a great name. Do you have a job that enables your exploration? Uh, I'm a professional entertainer. I am a contortionist and sideshow performer. So I perform all around the country. Sometimes I perform internationally, and that does help a bit because it gives me the opportunity to uh, check out markets when I travel. Although honestly, like I've kind of like hit, it's gotten to the point where it's very difficult for me to find new things domestically, and I don't travel internationally very often for work. So these days, not so much. A little, I'll get a little bit here and there when I'm traveling around as an entertainer, but mostly the YouTube channel is funded by viewers like you. When you watch my ads, that helps me make these videos. Gives me income. So yeah, don't skip those ads, guys. And I got a few sponsors now. That's a new thing. Got a cat, by the way. She came to visit. It was the obligatory visit by Vostok. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so now I've got some sponsorships that helps fund the channel. And by the way, all the sponsor ads that I do, I put a lot of work into those because I want people to actually watch them. I don't like just do like ad reads or anything, and I make sure that anything that I choose as a sponsor is something that I actually like or can see myself liking. So I get all these ads for like Raid Shadow Legends and like all these like weird like apps and video games and things that have nothing to do with my channel like whatsoever. I tell them no. Like I only do things that I like. So or things that I think sound cool. So if I wouldn't buy it myself, I wouldn't do a sponsorship on it. So sponsor ads tend to be at least good stuff. At least I think it's good stuff. Also Patreon. Patreon is a big way that I fund this channel. So there's anyone watching that is on my Patreon. Thank you for being a patron, guys. Patreon really helps. It's a big help, and basically what that is if you don't know about Patreon, everyone knows about Patreon, right? But basically, you get like perks for signing up. So you like give a little bit of money per episode, and in exchange, you get either early access to episodes, exclusive videos are on Patreon. You get your name at the end of the episodes and the credits. The coolest one that I have, the thing that a lot of people sign up for that's pretty cool, is I have basically my own loot crate sort of thing where I send things to people in the mail. So it ends up being like weird spices, stuff like that, things that I come across when I'm traveling. That goes in these packages, and I send it out to people that are high ranking on Patreon. And seeds too. A lot of people ask me all the time if I'll send seeds to them, and the answer is no. Only if you're on Patreon. If you're on Patreon, I'll throw them in, but I'm not. It's difficult to do the seed thing. So what I do is I try to keep it. I just like don't have enough time to get into the seed business. It's a lot. Like I'm a busy guy with like YouTube and also like my job of like performing. Sometimes like you cleaning seeds is like I just don't have time to do it. So with Patreon, it makes it easy. I put it out there. People want seeds, I'll send them seeds, and do my best to make sure that they stay viable. But like I don't grow things myself, so I'm a little clueless to that stuff. But that is the one way to get seeds for me. Another super chat from the Blue Noble. Thank you so much. And hey again, Jared, old fan here. Yeah, I recognize your name, Blue Noble. You've been around for a long time. You've got a ton of new dragon fruit varieties, and you'd like to try them. If I'd like to try them, Richard Lay has a ton too. Yeah, sure. I know you've sent some things in the past, haven't you? Yeah. Send me an email. Yeah, guys, if you grow plants and want to send me something, just send me an email. You go on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, the About page. There's a link there for business inquiries. If you want to send me something in the mail, like fruit, and you grow fruit, that's a business inquiry. That's a business inquiry. If you wanna send me an email that just says, please send me your seeds, that is not business, guys. That doesn't count. If you want to say, here's a picture of this thing that I found on the ground, tell me what it is, that's not business, guys. So I might not answer those. I sometimes I do, but might not. It's hard for me to find the time to respond to everything. But if you have something you want to send me, if you want to sponsor me, stuff like that, that's business. So if you've got Blue Noble, thank you for the offer. But yeah, send me an email. We'll talk about it. Maybe not anytime soon though, because another bit of news. I've got another thing to bring up here on my little list here. Is I'm going to be traveling pretty soon, and this time it is for work. It's for performing, doing some shows. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find fruit while I travel, but maybe. But I'm going to be going internationally. I'm going to be doing some shows out down Mexico, around there. I'm going to be in Mexico. So yeah, that's maybe I'll get a chance to find a few things, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't want to talk too much about it right yet, but there might be some fun things coming up in the future from that. But the unfortunate thing, and this goes in with the question I got earlier, is when I'm performing, when I'm traveling for stage shows, very often I am flying in, doing a gig, flying out. Very often it's that way. So when I have free time, I do take those opportunities to try to hit up markets and stuff. But sometimes I just don't have the time for it. It's tricky, but you can see in past episodes where I'm traveling around the country, if I'm reporting back from a different state, one that is not New York City, I probably was doing a gig. That's how that works. I have the mission to go to like every state in the United States, and so far I've been to 47 states. Been to almost all of them, but I have the caveat that I will only go to a state if I'm doing a gig there. So yeah, instead of listing the ones that I've been to, the 3 that I haven't been to, I've never been to Hawaii. No one's ever hired me for a gig there. I've never been hired in Alaska, and I've never been hired in it's one of the Dakotas. I forget which one. I think it's the one that does not have Mount Rushmore. I'm sorry, I get them mixed up. Sorry if you're from North or South Dakota. But whichever Dakota does not have Mount Rushmore, that's the one that I have not been to. So those 3 states I haven't been to. I do plan on going to Hawaii soon for the channel, but yeah, I'm babbling. Okay, let's get things back together here. Thank you for the super chat, Blue Noble. Yes. Okay, North Dakota does the Rushmore, is what I've been saying. I forgot South and North Dakota even existed. Yeah. Oh, okay. There's another super chat that I missed from Mika Mikos sent a super chat, but it didn't show up. The question didn't show up. I was wondering if you'll ever try exotic mushrooms if I come across them. I am a mushroom foraging enjoyer. Unfortunately, I'm not a mushroom enjoyer. I don't like mushrooms. It's one of the few things I can't eat. And I've tried. It would be great if I could try the different mushrooms out there. And I've had people say, like, this mushroom's different. This one's really good. You got to take a bite out of this one. It's not like the things you get at the supermarket. You got to try this one. And I taste it and it makes me gag instantly. Like, I just can't. I don't have the palate for it. So unfortunately, if I were to make a mushroom series, trying all the wonderful mushrooms of the world, it would just be me gagging and complaining. which I don't think is going to do it justice. Because I think mushrooms are really interesting. I saw that Netflix documentary a while ago, but like all the weird mushrooms that are like communicating with trees, and mushrooms are wild, really, really cool. But I think this is a position that is better for somebody else because, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it justice just with my taste buds. I've tried to like them. I've tried. I don't like them. The only mushroom that I can tolerate is truffles. And even then, I would rather the truffles weren't there. Like I can have like pasta with some truffle oil on it. And I'm like, this is okay. Like I can enjoy this. Like that flavor is all right. But I would rather the mushroom flavor weren't there. So I think yeah. Sorry if you like mushrooms. I it just doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. Yeah. The only things I will not eat are mushrooms, and well, I'm vegetarian, so there's a lot of limitations there. But that aside, that aside, eating meat at this point would make me very ill. By the way, so like, yeah, besides meat, the only things I won't eat are mushrooms and noni. Those are off the table. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay, I've got more orders of business and also the chocolate. I can't forget to eat that chocolate, but I do have one more piece of news first. Excuse me. This is why I get the tea. I sat down about to start the stream, and I'm like, oh, I need a cup of tea because talking for this long, I don't want to be like coughing everywhere with a dry throat. Oh yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one. So if you saw my last stream, if you've been looking at the community posts, if you watched recently, I'm doing tours now. So coming up towards the end of 2022, I'm going to be going to Thailand. Excuse me. I'm going to be going to Thailand, and hey, you can't come to Thailand. And people can come with me. So I set up a tour. It's with Trova Trip, which is a website that kind of connects different influencers of different sorts, like people on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot, and YouTube. You set up a tour, and then people can go on the tour, and you go to a different country. You get to set up an itinerary. So I did that. I did that with Thailand for a small group, just 12 people. Whoa. Cat has broken my microphone. Okay. Hold on. Okay. She's been good this whole time. Every time I film now, she's gotten really needy. She comes up and wants to be a part of everything. So we'll see if she behaves or if she knocks my my microphone onto the ground. Come on now. Hey. Okay. She's become a little troublemaker. She's so cute, but she's a lot of trouble. What was I talking about? Yeah, trips. So, yeah, I set up a trip with to go to Thailand as like an experiment. Not sure if people would go or not. It sold out instantly. It was a small group, just 12 people. I want to kind of keep things small. So I set up a second trip, also to Thailand, for anyone who wanted to go. Also sold out instantly, and that was going to be it. But then Trova Trip, who set it up, is like, you still have a lot of people that want to go traveling with you. Would you do another trip somewhere else? And I said, yeah, let's do Vietnam. So we set up a trip to Vietnam, but this one is not going to be until much later. It's going to be in 2023, May of 2023. And that's because I wanted this to be after the Thailand trip. And I also wanted to be during their fruiting season, which is starts in May. And I didn't want to, go there during the winter time when there's not going to be any fruit around. So it's going to be a trip to South Vietnam. I made a post about it, and that tour sold out entirely. So I made a second trip, and that one did not sell out. I think, it is far in the distance. It is like 2 years away now. But Trova Trip is trying to fill these seats up now. So if it might sell out. There's only about 5 spots available as I record this. So if you're interested in going to Vietnam on this tour, check out the link that I think I put it in the description below. Yeah, in this video, if you go to the description box, there is a link. And if you go to that link, you can see the whole itinerary of all the places we're going to go in Vietnam. And if you want to go, there are a few spots available. So I think right now there's 5 spots. And once those are gone, that's going to be it for a while. I might do more tours in the future, but it's going to be far into the future, So yeah, if you're interested, check it out, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And even if you're not interested in attending that tour, just because of like how things have been going, you might want to sign up for the email list. There's an email list so you can be updated about any other trips that I do. So after Thailand and Vietnam, if Trova Trip is happy with me and they want to keep working with me, then we'll do some other trips. Maybe go to Indonesia. That'd be cool. Maybe somewhere outside Asia. We can go to like South America or something. So yeah, that's going to be coming up in not so soon, but Thailand's coming up fairly soon. And I'm excited. It's going to be really good for the channel. I think it's going to be a good way for me to travel more and also get to hang out with you guys. So I'm thrilled about it. I think this is a really good thing. I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I've never been to Vietnam either. So I'm excited about going to Vietnam. All right. It's going to be like a lot of floating markets, and there's an orchard that grows like these really weird fruits that are like, they're related to rembai, which is something I tried in Borneo, but it's different. I think they call it Burmese grape. I've never had it, so I'm excited about going to that orchard there and trying that. My cat is trying to knock me over, so apologize if I'm like wrangling this cat, but she is always in need of attention. So let's see what else. Oh, I have to review chocolate. That's exciting. Let me just see if there's any other super chats. I saw one float by while I was talking. Tagsby81. Thank you so much, Tagsby. Very generous of you. You asked if I've had candy mushrooms. Now, are you talking about mushrooms that have been candied? Or are you talking about those little chocolates that have a little biscuit at the bottom? Those I've had. The chocolate things I've had, and those are delicious. I do like those. I think they're made by is it the company that is it Latte or whatever it is that makes Pocky? Sorry for the cat butt. Yeah, I like those little mushrooms. Those mushrooms are good. The chocolate ones. Candied mushrooms, like actual mushrooms with like sugar on them. Not that one. All right. Let's do one more question here. Everybody wants me to eat the chocolate. A few comments about my cat. Mango Tea says, so you do like mushrooms. All right, you got me. You got me. If my mushrooms are made out of something that is not mushrooms, I'm okay with them. Definitely okay with those. All right, let's break into this chocolate here. After I take a sip of tea. Now I'm building suspense. Hey. You want to help me out here? Thank you. Okay, that cat was gonna break something. She's so sweet. That my cat Vostok is the sweetest cat in the world, but sometimes a little too sweet. Sometimes she just like wants so much attention that things get broken, and when things get broken, she doesn't like it. So she's very skittish. She's a very scared cat, and anytime there's like a loud sound, even if she's the one that causes it, she thinks the world's out to get her, and she like runs and hides. So Yeah, she's a special one. There's actually one of my episodes that happened too, where I was recording. She knocked my microphone onto the ground, broke it into like 3 pieces, and then she ran and hid and like needed to be comforted. That's just a normal day with with Vostok. So she's better off in the other room right now. Chocolate. Okay. All right. Now this chocolate was sent to me by Kenny. Kenny sent this to me, and he sent this to me a while ago. So I actually opened it up to check to make sure that it's okay. Still looks okay, but the idea with this, or the first thing about this is made from a different species related to the chocolate that we eat. So the chocolate we eat is Theobroma Cacao. This is Theobroma bicolor, and there is another. There's several different Theobroma species, but Theobroma Cacao is of course the most popular one. That's what chocolate's made out of. This maybe gets second place. This was the second most common one. People eat this in Mexico, some parts of Mexico, in South America, Central America. You might be able to find this, the actual chocolate pods. And I've never had it. I've never had it. My good friend Stephen Murray, who's traveled to Africa with me, he found one in Mexico at a market shortly before I went to Mexico. So I went down to Mexico. I went to where he went, trying to find it, and the vendor was gone. Couldn't get it in time. I like just missed the window where it was in season or something. And every time I've traveled to like South America or somewhere where this is grown, this type of chocolate is grown, I've tried to find it, never found it. And the idea, and the reason why I haven't the reason why I haven't reviewed this yet, even though it was sent to me a while ago now, is I wanted to do a comparison with Theobroma Cacao chocolate, Theobroma bicolor chocolate, and also what is it? Theobroma grandifolium, I think it is. The Copoa soup, which is another species related to chocolate, which I've found that one. I found that one when I was actually in the Amazon in Bolivia. I found that. I wanted to do a comparison of the 3 chocolates and make a video out of that. It was going to be a big video, and there is a company that makes chocolate out of the Copoa soup that is based in Brazil. I believe it's Ama chocolate, AMMA. So there is that, and then there's this one made from bicolor, and then regular chocolate is easy to find. So I had 2 of the 3. I had regular chocolate. I had this one. All I needed was the chocolate made from Copoa soup seeds. And try as I might, I just could not get my hands on the Ama chocolate, the Copoa soup chocolate. I tried like all sorts of different websites. I tried contacting people in Brazil. I tried everything I could. Couldn't find it. I don't know if it's still available. I don't know what it is. But yeah, if you live in Brazil and want to send me some Copoa soup chocolate, send me an email. Okay? I'll send you a shirt or something. But like I've been trying to find the Copoa soup chocolate since I was sent this, and I have not found it. It's been over a year, and now I'm worried that this has gone bad. So that's why in this live stream, I'm going to eat this, because I think it has gotten to the point where I should probably eat this before it goes rancid. But it's fine. It's fine. It's still good. There's no expiration date on it, which is a little concerning, but it looks totally okay. Like maybe it could be a little fresher looking, but like how like when chocolate goes bad, it turns like all dusty and gross. This one looks fine. I mean, look at it. That is a fine piece of chocolate. Looks all right. And what's in this is also very interesting. It's not just Theobroma bicolor chocolate. Another name for that, by the way, is Jaguar chocolate. It's pretty cool sounding. But in this is the Theobroma bicolor chocolate, coconut sugar, cocoa butter, mame seed. That's a weird one. Vanilla pod, and there's natural coloring, and sea salt. So that's Rosita di Cacao. Not sure what that is. That like maybe the cacao flower, maybe or something. But an interesting one in there is mame seed. You know, like mame sapote is a fruit that I've tried in the past, and people actually use the seed as a spice. I don't recommend doing it because the seed also contains arsenic, I believe, in some amounts. So you got to know how to prepare it properly. But it is a little known spice. Like people usually throw these things away. But in some parts of the world, people actually take that seed, they crack it open, and they dry it out, they prepare it somehow, and they use it as a spice. I've actually tried it on the channel in the past, and it's good. It's got a flavor that is kind of in the direction of like maybe like cinnamon. It's like a cinnamon sort of flavor, but also a little bit like almond extract kind of flavor from the arsenic, I'm assuming, because yeah, almonds have a little bit of arsenic in them too. So it's an interesting chocolate. Besides the fact that this is excuse me, besides the fact that this is a different species of Theobroma, it also is spiced very oddly. So I'm curious what this tastes like. And I've been talking a lot. I'm sure you're probably curious too. So let's give it a shot. Right off the bat, this thing doesn't melt very easily. It's definitely, I mean, usually a piece of chocolate, you let it melt in your mouth. This one isn't melting very easily. This one is one you gotta like chew on or hold in your mouth for like a long time. And it says stone ground dark chocolate. It's pretty dark. But the texture of it is weird. It's a little bit waxy. I mean, it's good stuff. There's no wax in here. But because of, I think because of the species of this, it has a different kind of melting point. It doesn't really melt in your mouth. Doesn't melt in your hand. And maybe that's why this has lasted longer. Because it might be like a little tougher, a little more stable than regular chocolate. And the flavor is good. This isn't like very sweet. It's been sweetened a little bit with coconut sugar, but it's pretty mild. I'm trying to pick apart the flavor of this because it's not strong. It's not strong. I think objectively, regular chocolate is better than this, but it is interesting. It tastes more like a milk chocolate, even though it is not a milk chocolate. This is dark chocolate. It tastes like dark chocolate, but mild dark chocolate, like a dark chocolate that doesn't have a strong flavor to it. It's not bad. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not bad, but it's very different. It's hard to relate it to regular chocolate because of that. And I am getting that mame seed taste in there. Something that is like a little faintly almond, faintly cinnamon. There's also something very roasty about mame seed. And I'm getting that also. So I think this has a spice in it. And it's not even like advertised on the front as having any spices in it. It's not sold as that. But I think it needs it just because this does not have as strong of a taste as Theobroma Cacao. Theobroma bicolor is good, but it is mild. It is mild. So this is maybe a good thing for those who don't like very dark chocolate, but want something a little bit more complex than a milk chocolate, because it's got certain qualities to it that are like dark chocolate, but it's still mild like a milk chocolate. So if you're someone who doesn't like dark chocolate, you probably would be able to handle this one pretty well. And if you're someone who likes milk chocolate, this is maybe like a little bit more intense than that. But yeah, interesting. This is an interesting one. It's good, but like I could probably down this entire bar because it's such like a mild taste. It might be because it's been sitting in my cupboard for the past year and a half. Like that might be part of it. Maybe it's gone bad. It doesn't taste stale. It just tastes mild. So yeah, interesting. The most interesting thing about it is not the flavor; it's the fact that it doesn't melt. This has like almost like plasticine kind of like aspect to it. Like it feels tougher and not as creamy. It's like a bit drier. So I wonder actually if this would be better if it was a milk chocolate, if more cocoa butter was put in here. Maybe that'd be even better because that might make it feel a little less dry. So yeah, that's cool. I don't see that ever replacing regular chocolate, but it is nice. It is nice and it is interesting. Another thing about it is that this is not something that is normally used to make chocolate. And because of that, it's not cultivated usually to make chocolate. It doesn't have all that history of making chocolate. And because of that, it might not be as good as it could be if more effort was put into it. The same thing with like coffee. With coffee, we only have Arabica coffee. That's all you got. You go to the supermarket, you're gonna see like rows and rows and rows and rows of Arabica coffee. But there are a lot of different coffee species out there, like tons of them. And if you go to some areas, maybe you find Robusta coffee, or if you're in the Philippines, you might be able to find Liberica coffee. But it's not common. I mean, everywhere else it's just Arabica, because that is the one that has been cultivated. And if more effort was going into creating different varieties of the Theobroma bicolor, then you might get something that would replace chocolate, like the regular chocolate. But it doesn't have that history. And you can kind of tell when you eat it. It doesn't have as much of a satisfying punch the way that regular chocolate does. But what it does have is unique, and there's maybe another use for this. You might want a chocolate that is a little more dry, or a little bit more mild in flavor, like this, right? So yeah, cool to try. Definitely cool to try. And if Kenny is watching, Kenny, thank you very much. Thank you for sending this to me. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it. All right. So we've got I think I hit all my talking points. I think I saw a couple super chats fly by. So let me see. Bell's Theorem. Thank you very much, Bell's Theorem. Have you ever tried a Gros Michel banana? And keep the vids coming. Yes, I have. I found the Gros Michel banana when I was in Borneo. When I was in Borneo, they have it there. For those that don't know, Gros Michel banana is a banana that used to be around in like before the 1950s, but because of a disease that hits bananas called Panama disease, they stopped cultivating it, because the way that bananas work is bananas are clones. If you go to the supermarket, all those bananas are from the same exact variety of banana. And what that means is that a banana plant is grown in a field that will have on a farm is grown in a farm that would have like 1,000 different banana plants. And if one of them gets that disease, if one of them is susceptible to that disease, it'll kill them all, because like there isn't any diversity there. There's not any. Every banana is going to be vulnerable to the same sort of diseases. And because the Gros Michel was vulnerable to Panama disease, it would wipe out vast farms full of this banana. It's a bad thing. It's good to have diversity for more than just what it tastes like. It will kind of protect bananas, but people like uniformity. There's a whole lot to talk about. I've talked about it a lot in the past in these episodes. So maybe watch those videos. But anyway, although it's not grown in the U.S. anymore, and it's not grown sold in the U.S. anymore, in isolated areas, people still do eat the Gros Michel. And one of those places is Borneo. And I went to Borneo and I found it. If you go to a market in Borneo, like they will have full sections that are like nothing but bananas. It'll be like you can choose from like 20 different bananas at a stall, opposed to the US, where you'll find the Cavendish, maybe a baby banana, maybe like an apple banana, but mostly you're just getting the Cavendish. So in Borneo, I asked around, I managed to find it. And the odd thing there is that people eat them green. Like when you eat the ones there, when you eat them, they are best when they are green, and they taste sweet when they're green, which is a weird thing. And then a little bit later, they turn yellow, and you can still eat them then. So I had that, and when I bought it at the market, I actually like asked the woman who was selling it if she had any ripe ones, because all the ones that she had were green. I'm just thinking of the name. Is Pasang Ambon is what they call it there. Pasang Ambon is the Malay word for it. And when I asked her if she had ripe ones, she called over all the other vendors, all the other banana vendors, to come over. They circled around me. And I'm not making this up. They circled around me, and she told them all that I asked for ripe bananas, and they all started pointing like out of a cartoon and laughing at me. Yeah, I was humiliated by banana vendors, guys, in my quest to find Gros Michel bananas. But I found them, and they taste good. They don't taste like especially amazing. I think a lot of people talk about the Gros Michel like it is this superior banana that is so much better than the Cavendish. It's not. I mean, it's maybe a little bit better. It's a little bit stronger in flavor, but it tastes very, very similar to the Cavendish. The reason why the Cavendish was chosen to replace the Gros Michel is because it tastes like the Gros Michel. It's like something you can kind of like swap out fairly easily. I also did a review of the Gros Michel against a Cavendish and against the Goldfinger banana. Because guess what? Because we have clones now, not of the Gros Michel, but of the Cavendish. The Cavendish is now susceptible to another strain of Panama disease and a bunch of other diseases. So now there is a real danger of losing the Cavendish. So people are working towards protecting the banana crop. And one of those things is to have another banana to replace the Cavendish. And the one that is most likely the one that is has been said to be a good replacement for the Cavendish is another one called the Goldfinger. So I did a comparison of all three. I did the Gros Michel, the Cavendish, and the Goldfinger side by side to see how they're different from each other. And yeah, watch that video. That's some. I did that maybe like 2 years ago. I did that video. So if you dig in the channel, you'll be able to find that one. They don't taste greatly different from each other because they are replacing the one ahead of it. And I think banana vendors are not finding a replacement because they want to make life more exciting. They want it to taste fairly uniform to the one that preceded it. And the Goldfinger is my favorite out of the three, actually. So I'm kind of, although there's a lot of problems that would arise for losing the Cavendish, there is a positive to that happening, is that we might end up with a better banana than the Cavendish banana that we eat now. Fun facts. So let me just do a quick check here to see if there were any other super chats. Here's one here. I don't know how to say your name, but you gave me a banana peel sticker, and I thank you for that. And yep, doing a quick check here for other super chats. Carissa Perling, thank you very much. Carissa sent me a banana sticker that is not peeled. Good. Got 2 different varieties of banana stickers available on YouTube. Right now I'm just being sent a bunch of O's. Someone said cool, but with a lot of O's. I'm starting to lose my voice, guys. So I'm just gonna take maybe one more question. And if I missed any super chats, I'll definitely answer super chats. But I'm gonna take one normal question from the chat here. Sorry that I'm coughing, guys. My throat's getting a little dry. AN asked, tell us about your Canadian fruit experiences. Okay. So there are a lot of fruits available in Canada, and sometimes you can't get those fruits in the USA. And the reason for that is I think different sorts of legalities about exporting fruit or importing fruit into the country. So the first time I had the sorry, really losing my voice. The first time that I had black currants, gooseberries, things of that genus, the ribes genus, those were in Canada. They're easier to find in Canada than they are in the US. You can get them in the US, but it's tricky. And part of the reason for that is ribes are linked to yet another disease that affects plants. So for a while, black currants were actually banned in the US, but you can get them in Canada. So there's that. I had my first granadilla in Canada. I found granadilla in the US, but it's rare. And granadilla, for those that don't know, is a variety of passiflora, meaning it's related to passion fruit. However, it doesn't have a strong sourness to it. It's like sweet and kind of creamy tasting. The texture is kind of a little gross, but it's kind of like a passion fruit, but without a strong sourness to it. They're good. They're good. I've had it several times since then, but the first time was in Canada. Easier to find there because of, I think, importing laws in Canada. My favorite places to go in Canada, well, actually, I only recently have been to Montreal. Occasionally, I'll get some. It's actually like not too far from New York City to go to Montreal. And my favorite place to go is this market called the Jean Talon Market in Montreal. It's an old market. It's been around for a long time. And there's just like tons of vendors, like tons and tons of vendors. So you'll find people who are selling things that they have foraged. So I found my first tea berry there, which is a berry that's used to make wintergreen. It's used in root beer and certain things. I found a bunch of different berries there. There's some vendors selling exotic fruit there. I found cacao for sale at the Jean Talon Market. So yeah, you can get some cool things in Canada. Although it's so close, it's so close to the US, because it is a different country, that does switch things up a bit. Another one that's big there is the honeyberry. which is kind of like a blueberry, but long. It's like a long blueberry. It's kind of weird looking, and it's got a good flavor to it. It's actually really, really good. It's got a soft texture, a little bit of tartness to it. It's like a regular blueberry, but better. I think they're related, but I might have to check on that one. Honeyberries are really good. So yeah, actually in Canada, I found like a whole bunch of stuff. So I think that's about it. Unless let me do a quick check to make sure I didn't lose any super chats while I was chatting there. But good question. Good question. It goes to show that like no matter where you are in the world, it always pays to look around at like farmers markets and grocery stores. You'd be surprised at what you can find. I've found exotic fruit just about everywhere. You know, I've been traveling like for so long, and sometimes you don't really expect to find certain things. And for anyone late joining, like my most an upcoming video I'm doing is going to be on bananas that grow in Iceland. You know, there's some surprising things out there, and I think that is maybe a good moment to end on. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Again, if you're interested in joining the Trova trip tour that I'm doing to Vietnam, check out the link that I put in the description. A lot of fun things going on. Stay tuned for more information about my 600th episode that'll be coming up. Some more traveling's coming up, and I'll probably do another live stream in about a month. I'm trying to keep this like once a month towards the beginning of the month. So we'll be doing the next one probably the beginning of December if all goes well. And until then, I'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. All right, let me turn off the microphone first. All right. Bye, guys.